Hey, what's up, players? WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long. I just want to endorse some of my brothers that are doing an outstanding job of podcast. I'm talking about the First Black Champ podcast, one of the greatest podcasts of all time, and it's growing and growing each and every day. Talking about my man, J.R. Bang and Champ from the Port. Players, you better take a listen to them, and if you don't, I'll have J.R. Bang and Champ put them in a tag team match, and it's going to be a lot of trouble.
You damn right. You damn right, man. Hello. Happy Sunday, happy day, good day. Hope it has been positive and progressive on your end. And what a way to kick off post PLE than us being put over by one of the legends in the game. But hey, man, it's time to talk about wrestling, and hopefully, for all of you out there that are listening that may venture into other activities, hopefully you enjoyed this more than most people have enjoyed the Carter Six. But nonetheless, man, we are here to talk about wrestling like nobody else in the world. And that means you need to get ready for the First Black Champ podcast. And I am your podcast Intercontinental Champion, Camp from the Port.
And I am J.R. Bang. Make sure you rate, like, subscribe, download.
Mute, brother.
No, I'm not. I'm on mute. Shit's not popping up.
We out here doing it.
Wait a minute. You can't hear me?
Oh, shoot. Okay.
You can't hear me?
I still can't hear you.
It's popping up. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Or maybe it's me.
Because I got the waves, y'all. I got the waves. So whoever out there listening, let me know if you can hear me or not in that thing before we go, because I got the waves.
Well, man, listen, while Bang is getting himself together, I know he would want to tell you to make sure that you rate, like, and subscribe. Look, Barber's Chair is the home, the rest haven for great wrestling content, such as ours, but other shows as well. Great sports content. So you make sure that Barber's Chair, you got it locked in. You got it subscribed to. You're following it. You're checking out all the shows.
Y'all sure y'all can't hear me?
All the good brothers over there and women, if there are any. Listen, I don't know. Haven't seen any interaction from women on the staff side of things, but make sure you just support everybody, man. Support everybody that's from the Barber's Chair Network, because
hey, Camp, I can hear myself.
Absolutely use
I can hear
all
myself.
of your support. And again, we got a great show lined up for you. We're just getting the audio situation together, and I hope that you guys are ready to do that. And man, that's awesome. You can hear yourself. I cannot hear you.
You need to fix your headphones. Fix your headphones.
But hey, what's most important is that, man, y'all see we coming up in the world. You heard that voice at the beginning of this show. You know the vibes. Listen, the legendary Teddy Long. Teddy, I know everybody who used the N-word. Okay.
I can hear myself in the YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. I heard myself in the YouTube. I know I ain't going crazy.
Let's see what we got here.
I heard myself in the YouTube. So y'all make sure y'all rate, like, subscribe, download to the Barber's Chair Network. Listen to wherever you can listen to it. Yeah, I know. My man had me out here.
Because I'm sitting here like, what in the world?
What a great way to start the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sitting here. Hey, listen, because I heard you until the music came on. So I was like, and I didn't do nothing. I'm sitting here with the belt. I'm like, yo, this is no different from the other, 700 episodes?
Right, yeah. I don't know what happened, but make sure y'all rate, like, subscribe, download to the Barber Chair Network, home of First Black Champ. Make sure y'all go ahead and get that merch. Make sure you follow us on everything at the FBC POD. Great show, because we talking about everything that happened last night at Money in the Bank, including the WWE telling y'all one of my favorite lines of all time. Here, nigga, damn. Triple H and them looked at all of y'all on the internet wrestling community. They looked at everybody and they said, here, nigga, damn. We'll talk about this version of here, nigga, damn a little bit later. But as Camp told y'all, shouts out to Sean Knight. First of all, shouts out to the big homie Sean Knight, one of the OGs. He got a chance to talk to Teddy Long. And asked him a couple of questions for his show. He's based out in Jacksonville. Y'all make sure y'all go check him out. So he was able to bless us with that drop from Teddy Long. One of the inspirations of this podcast. So if y'all didn't hear that, just go back to the beginning. That's one of the things we definitely heard. But we wanted to find out, Teddy Long has been out here doing this thing forever. He's been in this wrestling business before we was born. And he's still out there doing the indies and everything. And instead of asking him if Ric Flair really called him a nigga and some of those other things, we want to ask him a pure wrestling question and learn something about maybe somebody out here in the indies that we should be paying attention to, or somebody on one of these main rosters. So pass it on over to Sean Knight. Teddy Long.
Sir, you have seen a lot of legends come and go. And actually, one of my friends, J.R. Bang and Camp from the Port, they have a podcast called First Black Champ Podcast. They wanted me to ask you which current WWE or independent talent you believe could be the next breakout star.
Oh, wow, man. That's a tough question there, because I do see a lot of independent talent, because I do, some of the independent shows, I go and do a lot of signings. There's a guy called Frank Stone. I had the opportunity to work with him. And I think would be another breakout star. I tell you what, I really do miss. I miss Rodney Mack. He's another guy that they could be using now, that they could still get a lot out of. But that's another story. But like I said, every job I did, I didn't have no problem.
Man, listen, I love the Rodney Mack name drop, and that definitely would have been what I would have asked him. Like, yo, what's up with Rodney Mack? Is he Dark Side of the Ring worthy? Is we wrestling conspiracy theorists worthy? Like, what's up with Rodney Mack? I've always wondered about his career specifically.
I mean, based off of what he said, I want to know why he think Rodney Mack is not on TV right now. Facts. I mean, look, there are people that we really rock with. Right? And you want to see them do good. I'm not saying that this is not Rodney Mack. He's managed Rodney Mack. Rodney Mack has trained a number of people, including, from my research, Frank Stone. Definitely going to be checking out more Frank Stone Pauls in the future. But it's when I asked that question, I'm thinking of people like Frank Stone, like somebody that people wouldn't necessarily have their eye on. But he was like, yo, but Rodney Mack's still out here. So my question to you, Kemp, who's the Rodney Mack for you? Who's that? Hey, he's still out here now. Because it kind of leads into a lot of what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, man. Wow. Well, damn it. I don't think I thought that far ahead in the show. Still out here. Still, you know what? Honestly, it would have been, even though obviously I haven't heard much from him because I've been off my NWA game, but that person for me within the last year or so would have been Chris Masters, because I was so high on Chris Masters.
Right.
So, I think him being highlighted, that would have been one for me. Hey, listen, Aaron Stevens, aka Damian Sandow, for everybody that may not know. He's still doing this thing. Again, I always wonder about some of the talent that should have been mid-card talent in the WWE that never quite got to the mid, but they are actually flourishing in a lot of other places, which is, I think it probably speaks to the ecosystem that the WWE has, because, a lot of guys become mid-carders. They may get a little mid-card title fame or whatever, or maybe pre-show bound, but you put them in another environment, a lot of them excel at a very high clip. Should even Trevor Murdoch would have been the person I wasn't thinking of, but he's recently been the NWA champion. So
Yeah, it's funny that you said Chris Masters because mine is probably Carlito. Like, I've always been a Carlito fan. I am this close to being a Carlito stan. When he popped back up in when they did the joint in Puerto Rico, I popped like I saw my second cousin just get out of jail. Like, yo, Carlito back. I just didn't like the music that they gave him. Like, I was like, yo, where's the we spin the face? People that want to be cool. Like, that's the music that I wanted back. I didn't want this whatever that they were playing. But I am somebody since his debut always rocked with Carlito. Always been a Carlito fan. The only time I didn't like Carlito was when he had like the bell bottomy type joints on. It's like, what we doing here, fam? But you said Chris Masters, I said Carlito. They were both tag teams. You know who I thought you was gonna say? What's the homies at in NWA? The Six.
Oh yeah. Oh, Thrill Billy. See, hey, I'm thinking just people that we've seen.
I know it could be anybody.
But,
like, it could be anybody.
Then no, you can now that's a whole different topic. Now Thrill Billy's at the top of my list. Like, I still don't understand why he hasn't become a bigger star in the space yet. Only because with like throwback wrestler, right? Retro wrestler has always been something that's been able to come back. Because FTR, as an example, like, people love their throwback style, and there's been a couple guys kind of fit in that mold. But to me, Thrill Billy is the lineage of Stan Hansen and Barry Windham, and for everybody else that might be a little lower tier, Outlaw Ron Bass. But Billy Jack Hayes. So I don't know why he's not getting propelled a little higher. Now, granted, he's decorated in the NWA, and maybe that's where he wants to stay. But I'm on record as saying I don't care if TNA, AEW, or WWE gets him. He's the one that's going to get over no matter where he's at. So yeah, no, Thrill Billy for me is always Southern Six as a unit, as a trio. They're dope, but I see bigger things for Thrill Billy just by himself, though.
Yeah, mine's still Carlito. I mean, there's people that I've seen in the indies that I think is cold. Like, honestly, when I first saw Stephanie Vaquer at Windy City Riot last year, I was like, yo, hey, we got one. Like, we got one. I've sung the praises of Gabe Kidd on here, and David Finley as well. But every time I see Carlito come on the screen, I'm like, why are we not doing more with Carlito? Like, we should be doing a lot more with Carlito. And I've been saying that since he debuted.
Yeah.
So I know he was part of we letting people go. I don't think he's going to be a part of we bringing people back. Like, when you looked at the Judgment Day Clubhouse, the PlayStation 5 was gone. I think that PlayStation 5 was Carlito's. I think that's what he brought to the clubhouse. But I feel like for J.R. Bang, I feel like Carlito should have been a multiple-time world champion. And I'll stand on that hill. I'll die on that hill. No diss to The Miz, but if The Miz is a 2-time Grand Slam champion, then Carlito should have a world championship, and he does not. So I will die on the hill that Carlito should have been a multiple-time WWE world champ. I will die on the hill that he should have been used a lot more and a lot better. And I'll die on the hill that his return to the WWE was not as impactful as it should have been, because they gave him that bum-ass music when he came back from Puerto Rico. All right. Speaking of returns, let's just start the show off with where it needs to go. Ron Killings.
Ron Killings, not Ron Cena. Quite.
Not Ron Cena. Not R-Truth.
Not R-Truth.
Ron Killings is back. Now, we received word that the WWE was not going to renew his contract. So in not renewing his contract, the internet wrestling community was up in arms. They was pissed.
Yeah. Shockingly too to me.
I I wasn't shocked because he's a beloved figure. Like, if there's one person that everybody love, white people, black people, Mexicans, racists, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, niggas from Greenland, everybody loves R-Truth.
Yeah.
In the locker room, there is not one person that I could think of that hates R-Truth, to the point Vince McMahon said there's one person that can have a job in the WWE forever as long as he got it. Mm-hmm. That was R-Truth.
Yeah. Yep.
Vince ain't there no more. TKO on it. They looked at the contract. Said he was making too much. Probably. I call it the red button. They hit the red button. We're not renewing this contract. However, again, in the net wrestling community, it was R-Truth. It was, man, he could be TNA champ right now. Or he could go to AEW and it's like, yo, I got some shit that might piss me off. We'll get to that later. But last night, watching Money in the Bank, there's only one black guy. Like, when I saw the ankles, I said, oh shit, R-Truth. He didn't have to raise the hoodie up. I saw the ashy ass ankles and I said, R-Truth is back.
Oh man.
It's a black ankle. It's like Doom. It was like Doom.
Yeah.
When Doom had the mask on, it's like it's only 3 black people in WCW that's y'all size. And it's Butch Reed, Ron Simmons, and Ranger Ross. And that ain't Ranger Ross.
We know it ain't Ranger Ross.
So we know that we know them 2 black people in Doom, fam. They just gotta take off the mask. When and I got something to say about Jim Ross, don't let me forget it. But when Jim Ross was like, oh, that's Butch Reed. We was like, we know, nigga. Like, that's Ron Simmons. Duh. So when we saw a black man, ashy ankles, I can't remember if it was black Air Forces or black Air Maxes. Either way it go, black Air Forces, black Air Maxes, it means business.
Yeah.
But when he took it off, he didn't have the smirk. He had the mean 55-year-old nigga look. So, how shocked were you to see R-Truth last night? And I'm just going to ask straight off the bat, where do you expect this to go from here?
Man, you know, I want to say I was shocked, but not really, because for real, for me, just the whole R-Truth character, I don't know what to believe. I never know what to believe. So seeing them, I was like, okay. And you know, and not for nothing, maybe the IWC needs most of the credit here because, you know, I've never seen a firestorm of support for a wrestler that obviously active and can still go, but is past his prime, who's also black, who hasn't been in a main event picture in God knows how long, get this much support for basically a transitional storytelling moment. So seeing them and even seeing it acknowledged and even on SmackDown, just like the We Want Truth chants, it's like, wow, they can't let this just go. Like, this can't, like, this is where Triple H needs to be like, okay, guys, look, I know what we are going to do. And I know the tweet that went out or whatever, but we can't do this. Like, we got to do something else. So I'm not necessarily shocked at all that Ron Killings was able to get something else going. What do I see happening moving forward? Hey, listen, I'm still going to stick with my prediction of the John Cena retirement story taking a turn with the help of R-Truth or Ron Cena or Ron Killings. It don't even matter. The black guy with the dreads that can still do the split at 55 years old is going to be responsible for the double turn, if you will, or the 360, if you will, of John Cena as he closes out the retirement year.
Ron Killings got to get a title shot in Saudi Arabia.
Mm.
Now, look, I was on this show, 3 weeks ago, bitching and moaning about how possibly Saturday night's main event could be a title match.
Yep.
You, internet wrestling community, has made it so that Ron Killings versus John Cena should happen, and it should happen in Saudi Arabia, and it should be for the Undisputed World Championship.
So now how does that make you feel? Because you hated every second of the thought of this.
I still do.
Okay.
I still do. Look, I'm glad R-Truth is back, y'all. I am glad he's back. I don't want nobody to lose their job, and I fuck with R-Truth.
Yeah.
I just don't think R-Truth should be in the title hunt.
For sure.
In fact, I don't think a lot of old niggas should be in the title hunt. Like, quite honestly, the one thing I think that's great about this, but not great at the same time, it avoids us from seeing John Cena versus Goldberg at Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia like Goldberg.
Yeah, for sure.
But at this point right now, two things happened last night, Camp. Two things happened. And this is why the internet wrestling community is always, to me, be careful what you wish for. Because you've been saying something about two people that we saw last night. You've been saying this for one person for a couple of weeks now. And you were saying this about one person all last year. Based off of what I heard last night, this is one night in LA, R-Truth is more over than the world heavyweight champion and the next contender, who probably should be the next contender for John Cena's crown. Now, it can't be, here's the thing about SummerSlam, y'all. The King of the Ring rule is back. King of the Ring is coming up. King of the Ring rule is back. Whoever wins King of the Ring gets the title shot at SummerSlam. So with that being said, I mean, you gotta have somebody win SummerSlam. Are they like, are we just like predetermining that Cody's gonna win King of the Ring? Like, and we don't even know who's in the King of the Ring yet. But whoever gets the title, whoever wins King of the Ring gets to pick who they want to wrestle. And we're getting to everything else that transpired at Money in the Bank last night, especially stuff I didn't agree with a little bit later.
Okay.
But I don't think that this happens at SummerSlam, because you got somebody that's probably going to challenge John Cena. Like, I quite honestly, I think I would say, like I normally do with the Royal Rumble, my odds-on favorite to win King of the Ring is now CM Punk. Like, that's now my odds-on favorite, with Sami Zayn a close second.
Okay.
Like, them are my two odds-on favorites to win SummerSlam. Because Sami Zayn has made it clear, hey, I ain't getting this Money in the Bank shit, but I want that title shot. And those are the two. Because it wasn't that the title shot wasn't there yet. It wasn't there yet.
They conveniently made the stipulation after.
Yeah, they made it after. They
year.
Put the old shit back afterwards. And it started with Gunther. So those are my two odds-on favorites. So now when we look at Saudi Arabia, Rush, you got a point. CM Punk, like, I don't fuck with that shit. Will he say that shit if he's not getting the title shot though? Like, will he say that shit just in a random match against Dolph Ziggler? Or will he say that shit if it's him versus Sami Zayn and the winner goes to SummerSlam to face whoever they want to for the championship? That remains to be seen.
Okay.
Because Sami Zayn also was like, him and Kevin Owens was both like, we ain't going over that. Then some concessions was made, and the next thing you know, Sami Zayn out there rapping for his people.
Mm-hmm.
So when I look at this, those are my 2 odds-on favorites. So when I look at that, okay, shut y'all mouths.
Hey.
So when you look at that,
I told y'all who he was, y'all. I told you. No,
you did. Shut up. So when you look at that, you have to have R-Truth, John Cena, soon. You can't wait to SummerSlam because he's probably going to pick. John Cena's probably going to be picked. And if that's going to be the case, let's just knock this shit out in Saudi Arabia. And I'm going to say something that I don't want to say. If they do John Cena versus Ron Killings in Saudi Arabia, boy, don't be surprised if John Cena does the favor just to get it back the next day. Don't be surprised if John Cena does the favor, because I'm sorry, the way the internet wrestling community bitched, moaned and complained, and no, I do not think this was a work. Do not think this was a work, because he didn't get released. They decided not to renew his contract.
Yeah, so he still got time on the clock. Like
So he got time on the clock.
Yeah, it wasn't like a Braun Strowman thing where, no, you out. Your locker's already empty. They were like, yo. And the thing is, it came from him, though. It came from
him first.
Truth. Saying it's like, yo, my contract expired, and that's it for me. So
he didn't get released. They decided not to renew. And hell, we don't know if it's a mutual decision or not.
For sure. Right.
This nigga's been back in the E for what, 15? But I am telling you, I would not be surprised if John Cena did the favor. Right. They said, right. It's reported they offered him a lesser deal and he refused to offer. You are essentially a part-time act.
Yeah, for sure.
This is, we gon' I want to go back to where I want to. Y'all ain't gonna offer me that. Then back. And no, I mean, look, reported, rumored, journalism and wrestling huff anyway.
The bottom line is, y'all,
what?
TK Endeavor is saying, hey, we don't do the Vince McMahon contracts no more. Sorry. That's what the bottom line is. Obviously there's other reasons, but that's why you don't see Brock Lesnar. That's why you're not going to see R-Truth. That Vince McMahon, the wrestling guy, the P.T. Barnum of wrestling, was like, no, these are my attractions. And my value on attractions is X. TKO Endeavor has said, well, we pay wrestlers this. They don't give a fuck who's the attraction. They're like, the company's not ran like that anymore. The company is ran like everybody is their own individual superstar. Everybody is a sports entertainer. I'm not measuring you by pop in certain markets. I'm not measuring you by these other metrics that wrestling promoters would have. And that's what we're seeing right now. It's unfortunate. So I'm not saying that to say I agree. I'm just explaining it to just us, the wrestling community, the people that are watching the product. That is why you're seeing what you're seeing the way you see it.
And you're not looking at R-Truth as a future world champion. You're looking at him as an OG. You're looking at him as an attraction that's going to make you laugh. But we seem to be getting a different R-Truth than we've had in the past 10, 15 years. We're getting somebody who's like, nah, fam, fuck. Y'all been playing with me for far too long. To me, one or two things got to happen. John Cena got to give him the Zack Ryder Championship. Or he needs to join John Cena and be like, y'all been bullshitting with me for this time too. Quite honestly, I would have rather R-Truth did that shit. I would have rather R-Truth been like, nah, John, my childhood hero is right. Because y'all been bullshitting with me my whole career. I started talking about Lil Jimmy and y'all played me as some type of caricature of myself. So we going out like this together. But to me, none of this worked the way it's supposed to if R-Truth don't touch that belt. I'm sorry. I'm going to jump off the deep end. I'm going to hot take it. I'm going to do all of that because of the pop that y'all gave. And before that, how y'all was on Twitter just upset that a man who's never been a world champion, a man who on TV, I believe, has only had one title shot against John Cena, and for somebody who's honestly a caricature, because that's what they have made him, and that's what y'all loved. Y'all didn't. Honestly, this is what gets me upset about this. What gets me upset about this is y'all got upset at the clown gesture not, well, being released. Y'all got upset that the clown gesture got released. When y'all should have been upset that he's been that for 10 years. This is me saying what I've said on this show.
Yeah.
That R-Truth should have beat John Cena that night that they wrestled in D.C.
Yeah.
And he just lose it back. Because there would have been no point of doing all of that. He did that, he lose, he became a caricature. That's what happened, y'all. And y'all been laughing at R-Truth ever since. He's 50 plus years old. He gets let go. And now y'all mad. He comes back, I'm sorry. R-Truth needs to beat John Cena for the championship. Just lose it back, but give him the rub that he deserves based off of what y'all have said.
Yeah.
If he could be, if everybody is talking about, oh, he could go to TNA and be a world champion. No, he can't. It wouldn't even look right. And he can't do that shit in AEW. That shit wouldn't look right. What he will do is do the same shit he was doing in WWE. And that's being a comedian. But the R-Truth that I fucked with was more than that. So if Ron Killings is going to be more than that, beat John Cena and get the biggest pop of 2025 by beating John Cena. Or, I'll even better yet, do this. Or go the Chris Jericho route. And what I mean by that is, remember, on Raw, on a Monday Night Raw, Triple H versus Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho with the fast count beats Triple H. Triple H gets mad and gets ready to beat the shit out of Earl Hebner. I've never seen Earl Hebner run as fast as he did out that ring after he did that. And they gave Triple H that title back. Do that shit. But he got to sniff that belt. Or none of this shit matters. And if I'm the internet wrestling community, if none of that shit matters and he comes back after a feud with John Cena and he back to making you laugh, then you only wanted him back to make you laugh, and that's bullshit.
You're not wrong, but that's not going to happen.
No, I know that.
So I want to calibrate some things correctly, because I don't what I don't like in general about just wrestling community, and Russ, respectfully, I'm just going to throw you into this because I see the comment. We can't, just because wrestlers are over in the WWE on any level, we can't just say they can leave and just go be the world champ somewhere else. That's also not good business. That's also bad booking. And I think that people are misguiding the appreciation for R-Truth's contribution and for him being, to a more nicer way of putting everything that Bang said, to being a more comedy relief part of the segment. The unlikely way to get over, I think we're now overvaluing that when we're saying that he can go to TNA and become the champion. Because listen, Judgment Day was over before R-Truth got there. But it's just funny that R-Truth would call Dominic, Tom and Nick Mysterio. And he did provide a character layer for Damian Priest, so he could kind of be normal and not like Excalibur Club sex addict, like goth guy. or whatever that was in the Judgment Day at first, or as people were calling them, Timu Taker or bisexual Undertaker. I'm not here to question his sexuality.
Freaky Undertaker.
Freaky Undertaker. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Freaky Undertakers. Yeah, you know what I mean? But and obviously Miz and Awesome Truth, you know what I'm saying? Like all these things, I'm not saying that they're invaluable, that they're not valuable, because they're invaluable in a way, because R-Truth, going along with everything that Bang said, R-Truth is also the master at, you give me 3 minutes, you give me 7 minutes, somebody's going to get over in this time. I don't even need a match. I don't need a title. And I think what we're doing is we're blurring the lines of what his real skill and his real talent is. And this is why Vince McMahon was paying him whatever he was paying him, because he's an attraction. You give R-Truth a mic in 3 minutes, somebody's getting over. And but that don't mean that you can be the TNA champion on July 8th. It just doesn't. And we have to stop doing that, because there is an art to getting over with a crowd, and then there's an art to being a champion in a wrestling organization. So I do, as we talk about that, I want to say, hell no, all of that ain't happening. R-Truth don't need to sniff that belt. R-Truth needs to do exactly what he's doing now, and go out with whatever bang that's appropriate for him, pause or pun intended, depending on how you listen to the show.
Look, man, this is why I always say, fam, the internet wrestling community just gotta be careful what they wish for.
No, wait, no, hold on. Relax. Hey, and I'm not saying like Jinder Mahal was that, or
we don't want to go back to that, y'all. We don't want to go back to that.
Kofi Mania, but the thing is, I think you got to be more aware of what Jinder Mahal's title reign really meant. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a play to get, like Saudi Manias and all of that. That was a play. And they propped him up. They made him look as great as they could. But that was a play, because as you know, you don't see Jinder Mahal. That's almost like internet fodder. He's already on the WrestleCon run, unfortunately. And I'm not saying that like he can't still wrestle or whatever, but it's a little different.
Yeah, like that. And again, I'm glad R-Truth is back. I don't want nobody to think I'm not glad that R-Truth is back. I am glad he's back. I'm also not getting up in arms of somebody who's not high in the card getting cut. Like if you would have told me that Brian Breaker got cut, then I'm throwing shit at the wall.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, see, that's wild. Like, hey, even at this point, if you told me the Street Profits got cut, I'm like, wait, hold on now. Wait a minute. Because less than 24 months ago, one of these guys was supposed to be the future of the company. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta, certain things need explanation. Again, man, hey, listen, an athletic 50-year-old that happens to be black not getting this contract renewed. Hey, look, man, if nothing else, if you ever worked a warehouse job, or if you ever worked a factory job or something like that, it's like when the OG is saying, like, you know what, Kemp, I'm out of here, man. Oh, come on, Earl, what you mean? What you mean? What you mean, Ernest? Oh, yeah, no, man, I ain't messing with these Peckerwoods and these crackers no more. I'm out of here. And then, but then you really found out he got laid off. And it's like, oh, damn, why y'all do Ernest like that? That's what this is to me. Like, everybody loved Ernest at the job. But Ernest, look, we got some new 18-year-olds that's going to work a lot faster than him. And that's just what it's got to be.
My man said, why?
That's sorry.
Why y'all do Ernest like that?
Yeah, it's like, oh man, Ernest always has some game for me, man. Why y'all do that to Ernest, man?
Look, man. I feel y'all. Believe me, I do. I feel y'all, but I don't feel y'all. I feel y'all about the R-Truth thing, but I don't feel y'all. Like, I was messing with the Brick Cave because when it happened, I was like, y'all can stop whining now. Like, that's my whole thing about this R-Truth shit. Like, y'all can stop whining now. But whining is not going to get you what you want. Because I know what Paul gonna do. Paul is going to put him in y'all face long enough for y'all to shut up.
Yeah.
That's all that's gonna happen. He gonna put R-Truth or Ron Killings in y'all face long enough to shut y'all up. This don't work, y'all, if he don't sniff that belt. It don't. It don't. Camp's right. R-Truth is the OG that give you game and catering at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go out there. All right, bet. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna holler at you, young homie. Hey, I gotta give you some game real quick. I'm about to do this shit. Talk to Paul real quick. Then I'm gonna come back, and then I got you. Yeah. And here's the thing: we all want that OG. We didn't want Ernest to get cut.
Facts.
Cause now work gonna be boring. Who gonna tell the jokes? Who gonna be managed? Who gonna talk shit about the managers? Like, who gonna give you the game? No.
Yeah. Right. Who gonna tell you how he would knock the new girls down, but he know he ain't got it no more like that?
Yeah, he gonna be the dude that tell you back in the day, I was out here smashing holes with Road Dogg. Road Dogg, remember when we ran that train on Shorty back in the... Oh, man, we ain't on this phone. I forgot you married.
Yeah,
Me too. But...
Right. You know, that one time we was on East St. Louis at that house show.
And Donnie, I do believe that's to be the case too. I believe that's the case too. Again, why? Because that's the OG.
Yeah.
They supposed to.
Yeah.
But we don't see the OG. And that's the other thing I'm like, we're tripping with the internet wrestling community. I'm not mad at the wrestlers for going because we will go to them too. Like, no, Ernest got to stay, fam. Like, you can get rid of Bob.
Yeah.
Bob don't be doing shit. And then Bob looked at me like, damn, nigga. Yeah. Like, you don't be doing shit, Bob. Like, Ernest put us on game. He ain't no supervisor, but he kind of like a supervisor.
Yeah.
He ain't no manager, but he kind of like a manager. He give us game. He make us laugh. At the job picnic, he barbecue. You know what I'm saying? He give us the stories about how he almost beat the shit out of Ron Fuller. You know what I'm saying? This jobber named Ron Fuller when he was wrestling in North Carolina. He give you the stories about how Arn Anderson told him he wasn't never gonna be shit and everything. And he tell you stories about like how him and MVP used to play basketball and all of that shit. Like, if that's a great question, fam. Yeah. If R-Truth is Ernest in lighting, who's Bob in appliances?
Man, let me see. Bob. See, you got to paint Bob correctly because Bob is the guy that comes in to work and immediately goes to the break room or out to the smokers area. He still smoked Marlboro Reds.
Okay.
And he's just angry. He's angry, but he ain't angry enough to quit. Like, he be mad as hell every day. Man, all these young motherfuckers coming in here. But, I mean, hey, well, we got to work with them. It's just new management and making all these changes. I hate change. Like, that's Bob. So, for me, man, as we look at Bob, see, Miz has had too much success to be Bob. So, I'll
and it's funny, like everybody putting the young niggas. Yeah. Bob and Ernest are the old niggas. They the OGs. Them the 50 plus dudes. I'm gonna tell you who's Bob. I'm gonna tell you who's Bob and Light.
Because I'm gonna real quick to answer Russ. See, people want Karrion Kross to be Bob, but he's not Bob. Karrion Kross is Steve, the guy that's been around 15 years, and he want to see everybody win, but he just understands how culture is important to the OGs. See, that's different.
I'm gonna tell you who Bob and Lightning is.
Who's Bob?
Bob and Lightning is AJ Styles.
Hey,
just call me. I'll come to work. Call me.
You know.
If you don't call me, I'm staying my ass where I'm at.
Hey, because
Bob in lighting is AJ Styles.
Because all Bob's friends get fired.
Yep.
Every
He do a
time
good job.
Bob get cool with somebody, that's usually the point of you out the door because your productivity goes down.
He do a good job. It's not like he don't do a good job. When he come in, he snap.
Yeah.
But if you don't call him, he's staying at the crib. He's not gonna call off.
Yeah.
He just, hey, and my friends is gone.
Yeah.
My friends is gone. So if this was like Lowe's or Menards or Home Depot, I'm telling y'all.
Yeah. No, this is facts.
Ernest, the OG in lighting, that's Ron Killings.
Yeah.
Bob in appliances, this is AJ Styles. Yo, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna do my job. If y'all don't call me, I'm at the crib. But when I come in there, I ain't doing shit else but doing my job because all my friends gone. Y'all let everybody go. So I'm over here by myself. It's slow. It's slow today. I'm straight. It's slow today. I'm straight. Steve is the young dude that is kind of like in the middle, and he trying to figure it out. That's Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross ain't been in the damn WWE pipeline for years, but he came from another store, and he thought he could come up in here, he could do whatever the hell he want.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna be store manager in 2 years.
He thought that
ain't happening. Ain't happening like that for you.
Now he frustrated. Now he frustrated. There's a couple people that rock with him though. But not everybody. That's Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross is Steve, the dude who thought he was going to send because they recruited him from another store.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your people. If we did this and none of them are the store managers.
Yeah.
None of them are the leaders of the store.
Yeah, because that's why Steve is always about culture and building and coaching. It's like, no, these guys are doing really good. But we can't neglect the guys that have been here 20, 25 years. We can't neglect them.
Yeah.
Like that's Steve. That's Karrion Kross.
That's Karrion Kross, y'all. Okay, Rick. Rick is the dude at home theater. See, Rick is kind of a cool kind of name. Rick is that dude that work in the TV section that's always selling the big ass TVs and think he the shit. Like that's Seth Rollins. Rick is Seth Rollins.
Now look, I was gonna say I like Seth Rollins, but also though, I kind of feel like Rick could be Ludwig Kaiser because he the one fucking the girls.
No, I'm gonna give you Ludwig Kaiser. He's somebody else. Like Ludwig Kaiser is the dude that working. Ludwig Kaiser is the dude that work part-time, but got all the hoes. That's him.
Yeah.
He just work part-time. He got all the hoes.
Yeah.
Rick in home theater want everybody to see. Like look what I sold today. That's Seth Rollins.
That's definitely Seth Rollins.
He looks
like,
at
dude, I've been topping sales for 3 quarters, bro. What
y'all
you
don't
mean?
respect me. Why y'all talking about Roman? Like if we doing the wrestling, why y'all talking about Roman? Why y'all talking about John Cena being back? Like why y'all talking about all these? I've been holding this shit down.
Right. Let's talk about Ernest and Bob and Steve. Bro, profit sharing gets made because of me.
Right. Like that. Hey, man, look. Hey, look, fam. We work the retail. We could do this all day, but we're gonna move on.
Sure.
We're gonna move on. We're just gonna finish it like this. Like we've both talked about who we or what we would like to see from R-Truth. We've seen that. We've done that. We've gotten that, right?
For sure.
But either way it go, I am happy to see that he back. Yeah. Do what you got to do where you at, but I'm happy to see him back. So let's start off with that match right there. The tag team match, was that needed?
Only if you're trying to bury the world champ. Only if you're trying to bury the world champ. Listen, that tag match ended. You know the first thing I thought? Oh, Seth needs to cash in Monday night. Because don't get me wrong. Hey, look, this ain't got nothing to do with being over in the crowd in this instance. This ain't got nothing, but the finish to that match, the finish to the main event of a premium live event ended without a world champion doing anything. He wasn't even in the ring. The spear didn't break the table, but that's just what it is. That is what it is. I ain't really tripping off of that. But dog, Cena took the pin. Logan gets the moment. Cody, hey, QB won. All right, because not even Joe Tessitore is on it. QB won, gets the finisher protected, gets the pin on the champ, while the other champ is outside. So he got to bring him in and prop him up to let him know that we won the match while he doing his entrance while they hugging. Don't ever whoa me and then hug me, bro. Get the fuck off me. Like, yo, man, listen. I kind of feel bad for Jey Uso, but unfortunately, this is a great education on what a wrestling superstar is. And Cody is always on. Cody is always on. The camera is never off. And I understand that. And I'm not even trying to fault Cody for it. But what was glaringly obvious in that whole ordeal to me is that, yes, Jey Uso may be having the biggest pop of the night. He may be moving the merch. He may be selling the tickets. But he is not the focal point of the brand. And this may be answering the age-old question about why a lot of 80s or 90s superstars who were over like Rover that could not get a title shot. Because I would hate to see this happening to a Jake the Snake Roberts. I would hate to see this happening to a Brutus the Barber Beefcake or a Ravishing Rick Rude or a Mr. Perfect. It just, because then it's like, well, damn, why do we like dude so much if he got the belt and we still not getting a moment from him in his own matches? He was one of two champions, and the guy whose contract is expiring overshadowed him. Other than that, I want to say I find it funny that John Cena's obvious finisher is the belt to the face, and he gets it off every single match. Pause. That's funny to me. But Jey Uso, hey, listen, if they cash in tomorrow, I completely understand.
I think the cash in is gonna happen on Monday Night Raw. I think. Look, let me just say this: there was no reason for Seth to win that, and I'll get in there a little bit more later, right? Mm-hmm. I actually thought my prediction of Penta was gonna be on point. The way he was getting pushed through that match, I was like, "Oh shit, I might be right here." Yeah. But Jay looked like the fourth wheel. And there's four people in the match. You need all four wheels to do your thing.
Well, then R-Truth showed up late for the match. So.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And then R-Truth came. And then I was like, oh no, he's the fifth wheel. Yeah. He felt the most over person in the actual match.
Yeah.
Felt like the least. So this is when I don't put the blame on Jay no more.
No.
I put the blame on the WWE. On how they're using Jey Uso. Mm-hmm. Because we could say all day long about how we ain't feeling this. But Paul Heyman's rant was right.
Yeah.
He's doing all of this. He's not failing. So when you ask yourself that question, or when you say that, you ask yourself a question. If the fans are still gravitating to him, if the merch going off the shelves, if he's doing all of this, they love him. Mm-hmm. They love him. But why is he the wheel on the back of the El Dorado? It's because of how they're using him.
Yeah.
They're not, it feels like you're putting him in a prime spot, but you got the quarterback of the WWE. You got the Peyton Manning of the WWE directing that we gonna fight.
Yeah.
You got Seth Rollins with this group. And now he got the Money in the Bank. And here I am with the belt, just an afterthought. Because all of those other things are going on. You got Gunther telling me, fam, I know you got the belt and all, but you're not even a worthy champion. I'm just going to go ahead and take that shit off of you.
Yeah. Like, hey, Gunther not even attacking him no more. He's just talking to him.
Yeah, he's sending him.
He's like, yeah,
And
hey,
all Jay doing is 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet. Like, that's it.
Which
like,
I didn't realize he said that from Glorilla.
What?
Yeah, that's what she be doing on the. That's her ad lib.
I didn't even realize he be doing that shit, fam. I didn't even realize that shit. I
glow.
just 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet. Like, that's all you doing.
Yeah, that's the best part of his promo.
Yeah, like.
Yeah,
This is gonna sound real disrespectful what I'm about to say.
Go ahead. I'll let you go.
Zach Morris is cool until he got out of high school.
Yeah, hey, there's that. But you know what? Also, though, man, and this is us as champions, right? I mean, well, as wrestlers and our champions, the champions that we love as wrestling fans. I'll say it right the third time, I promise y'all. So, there's underdog stories, but even underdog stories have to take a turn. Let's just go back to recent history. Daniel Bryan, the B+ player angle and all of that. Like, yes, it did feel like, wow, he survived insurmountable odds to become the champion. But eventually, Daniel Bryan would grow into that title. Eventually, Daniel Bryan will become evil Captain Planet and start kicking people ass, whether they were his size or not. Like, Jey Uso hasn't had that moment. Jey Uso has been the champ since WrestleMania, and we still talking about how he can't do it, how he can't win matches, how he ain't supposed to be here, how he's still a tag team. Bro, what? Hit update on this app so we can get the new shit, bro. Like, this is not it. And we're in the state of transition, but Jey is not transitioning. And then the attempt that they made was bad because now you have the belt, but now you're on offense. No, you can't do that. You don't go out here making challenges. You are supposed to lay back and let people challenge you and take the belt off of you. Like, I don't even understand. Like, at least give us the respect of running the same play that y'all ran for Cody when he first got the belt. So it at least looked like Jey Uso is a marked man that has to protect his title versus him going out week after week proving why he has it in the first place.
But we kind of disagree with what they was doing with Cody because the one thing that we said that there was no predator.
Yeah.
For Cody. Like, when we look at Cody's run, who was the predator? Who was the nigga when it came down to SummerSlam where we was like, oh shit, he might lose this one. He was giving niggas shots. Cody was granting niggas shots. He was like, hey, you know what? This is who I want to fight at this next PLE.
Yeah. Hey, but
whoop your ass. Nah, nigga, I want this shit, and I'm gonna take this shit.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, even the thing is with Cody, and yes, and I did not like it. I'm not changing my stance, but at least Cody came from the like, hey, look, I'm Willy Wonka. Here's your ticket. Do something with it. Like, at least you could spin it to be that. At least Cody is in a situation where it's like, you know what? Hey, look, you know what? Yeah, you respect me. You respect my pops. You want the title? Okay, bet. Like, at least that's what it is. That's like, it's like Cody Rhodes was the Sidney Dean in The White Men Can't Jump. It's like, yo, I'm on the court. I'm busting ass. Well, we can play for $250 right now. What you want to do? And you know, it's like, hey, and look, and Billy Hoyle never showed up. That's what happened. Like, so but Jey Uso ain't even getting that. Like, he's not like, yo, everybody, it's like, I want to use another movie reference, but it might be off base. I was going to use Fresh, but never mind. The point I'm trying to make here is that,
don't use that, nigga be trying to hoop next.
Yeah, right. But Jey Uso is the dude that's in the hood with the chain on, and everybody think they can take that chain, and he willing to die over. That's what this feels.
So
like.
He's G Money. He's G Money. If G Money was the world champ.
I mean, hey, in a lot of respects, but at least I feel like Dudley Man would have killed somebody for G Money to protect the chain. Whether they just gonna politely lift that off. Yeah. Hey, my brother, don't make this no murder.
Right. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on to the men's Money in the Bank. Just segue from that.
Yeah.
Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Penta, Seth Rollins, Andrade, and El Grande Americano. And a shocker for me, I was like, okay, what are we doing here? If wow, we're not putting CM Punk in this joint. Okay, we giving them the night off, which one of the reasons why I'm like, yo, probably gonna win goddamn King of the Ring. But Seth Rollins wins. I had Penta. And I think you did have Seth Rollins, correct?
Well, no, I had CM Punk because
because
no way I didn't have CM Punk not making the match.
Yeah, my bad.
I had CM Punk with the cash in same night on Cena.
Yeah, you're right. My bad. So I'll just get it out the way because I feel like I'm gonna get this out the way because I feel like I said it already. I feel like that the wrong person won Money in the Bank. I don't think that Seth Rollins needed it to get to Jey Uso.
Yeah,
if you want to do this to get to Cena, then Cena needs to be a good guy. Y'all got history. I've watched the match between you, Cena, and Brock Lesnar. I watched the triple threat. Like Cena and John. Look, we could talk all we want to about some of these people that John Cena is going up against or may go up against and all that. But a very underrated feud in the career of John Cena is him and Seth Rollins. Yeah. Remember, there was a title versus title match. And we all assumed that John Cena will win, not because it's John Cena, but John Cena was the world champion at the time. And Seth Rollins was the United States champion. Normally, when we see these matches, the dude with the bigger belt wins.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins won. There's history. Great history between these two. Great matches. But John Cena's a heel. He's not only a heel, he's a heel that's like, yo, Logan Paul, I'm going to teach you. Like, so that's not going to happen. So since that's not going to happen, he don't need the Money in the Bank. He don't need that prop to scare Jey Uso. In fact, his prop is the two big dudes he got on both sides. It's the Bronze. The Bronze are the Money in the Bank. He don't need it. So that's my thought. I thought the wrong person won it. I thought that Penta, looking at what I saw last night, low key, I know I picked Penta and he still would have been my pick, but low key, I would not been mad if El Grande Americano would have won last night. Based off of what I saw from Chad Gable, 2 shows, I would not been surprised, or I would have not been surprised and not been mad if El Grande Americano would have gotten the Money in the Bank. Solo has become too much of a jokester, but he's headed for Jacob Fatu. LA Knight, yeah. But in fact, I'll tell you something that I was hoping that would happen, and I don't think I was the only person in the internet wrestling community that was thinking that. I wouldn't have been mad if Jacob Fatu would have been like, fuck that shit, went up to got that shit, and was like, yo, possession is 9/10 of the law. This shit mine. Fuck y'all.
Listen, I like that finish as well. But I'll say this, man. I'm not mad at Seth Rollins winning this at all. Because one thing that I'm going to highlight, And I don't think that we acknowledge it enough, because usually factions are put together in an effort to come up. But hey, man, I am here for factions that come in and dominate instantly. I'm here for that. And I think this is now made Raw more compelling. It's compelling for the fact of, I mean, listen, we already said that Jey Uso's the fifth wheel on his own main event tag team match, no titles on the line. What better way to just take that wheel off and sell it for $50 than to have Braun Breaker, Braun Strowman, and Paul Heyman surround the ring, beat the daylights out of Jey Uso, Seth Rollins cash in that Money in the Bank, and they take the title clean off his ass on Monday Night Raw to be like, look, I told y'all. I don't know what else you want from me. I am here for the total dominance. There has been so many factions within wrestling, and a lot of them have been great, powerful, dominant, or whatever, but you always got to respect the ones that come out the gate firing, and I like what they're doing with this one. To me, that's the hard reset that Raw needs, because, again, Jey Uso, polarizing superstar. Nobody's taking polarizing superstar away from Jey Uso. However, he is not a superstar world champion, and that is what Monday Night Raw needs. And, hey, look, who better to foot that bill right now than Seth freaking Rollins, because everybody else is on SmackDown. Cody's on SmackDown now. Cena's on SmackDown. Logan Paul, low-key, is on SmackDown. So, yeah, I totally get it. But when we talk about Money in the Bank, respectfully, I'm not popping for the El Grande Americano cash in on Jey Uso. I'm not popping for the Penta cash in on Jey Uso. Once I saw how that match was breaking down, I was like, you know what? Who's going to get over the opposite direction for cashing in on Jey Uso? And unfortunately, nobody else was better for that position than Seth Rollins at that moment, because Seth Rollins is trying to get the people to stop singing, and they won't.
The only reason why I disagree with you, because you can hold that joint for a year, and it'll go past WrestleMania, and it will get to a new season. If we talking Money in the Bank, Seth Rollins got three Money in the Bank briefcases. Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Paul Heyman. Don't need it. Penta, El Grande, LA Knight, shit Andrade. Could hold that bitch till June 8th, 2026. Mm-hmm. And be in a good spot because of that Money in the Bank. And when this feud is over and Jey Uso and Seth Rollins trade championships, and then they have a draft and all of that stuff, the Money in the Bank winner is still there. If you had to do that shit within 6 months, I think you 100% right. Mm-hmm. But especially with El Grande Americano, because I didn't like this. I didn't like this character until last night. Till last night. It's like, nah, I think I get it now. Mm-hmm. I get it. And it's not just about the mask and all of that shit. Like, yeah. It's not even about that. It's the fact that the dude under the mask can go. And sometimes you don't get fully over on the character that we think you should. Mm-hmm. You get over on the surprising character that we didn't think that was going to happen. Mm-hmm. And that's now how I feel about El Grande Americano. if he win that bitch and then just take that motherfucking mask off, and we knew it's you all the whole time, I think that would even be a bigger pop. The fact that he did that shit as that, but now you got to get it as Chad Gable and shit. Whereas again with Seth, he don't need it, and part of the reason why he don't need it is our whole first segment. We don't necessarily believe in Jey Uso in the first place. It's giving a nigga a gun when he could really beat the motherfucker ass he in front of.
Hey,
it's like,
and listen, and I'm down for him to pop a kneecap and kick his ass. Hey, listen, I again, you're right. You are absolutely right. However, we're Americans and we watch car wrecks. So hey, what you want from me, bro? Listen, put massacre, hijack Raw, massacre the champ, take the belt, and let everybody else figure it out.
Hey,
hey, listen, hey Russ, you're right. I do think LA Knight needed the Money in the Bank, and if LA Knight got moved to Raw, I'd be like, yeah, absolutely, because that might have been the only other person that could have went over on Jey Uso, and it worked in their favor.
Yeah,
LA Knight.
You know what's funny? I'm not down on LA Knight. Pause. It's just not the season for LA Knight.
Yeah,
it's so much stuff that is going on when it comes to those belts. Yeah, he could wait the whole year and he could cash in and everything like that. He could do that. But
nobody needs a draft portal more than LA Knight. Nobody needs a draft portal more than LA Knight.
I think things need to shuffle. And the one thing that I could say that LA Knight really has not had, in my opinion, LA Knight does not have a real good dance partner.
Oh, facts.
He has not, to me, had the real good dance partner that's going to elevate him.
Yeah.
That's what I think is missing. Yeah, or the story. What's the best story that LA Knight has been in that gets you like connected? I don't think that's happened yet. So I think that's part of the issue. Let's go over to the women. Can't be known.
Hey.
Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Julia, Naomi, and Stephanie Vaquer. Who, if I
Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Juliet, Naomi,
no, I don't want that.
Queer to your shopping list.
I don't want that to my shopping list.
On your shopping list. Okay.
I mean, Stephanie Vaquer is on my shopping list. I ain't mad at it. She ended up winning, not Liv Morgan. We thought it was going to be Liv Morgan, but Naomi pulled it out.
Yeah.
Naomi pulled it out. Your thoughts on seeing Naomi become Miss Money in the Bank?
Man, well, one, I want to say off the intro and the entrances,
yes,
I was like, oh, this crowd feel like me.
It was, like, look, if we go off entrances, there was only two people that was going to win that night. And it was Naomi and Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah.
It was only two.
Yeah.
So I'm with you.
Because even they tried to set it up. Sorry, hold on. They set it up for Rhea Ripley. They even put the little decibel meter up there. When that joint didn't hit 100, I was like, oh, okay. I know what y'all thought, but this ain't that. So I'm sitting here like, okay, so Stephanie or Naomi is what the crowd is going to go with. And as the match kept going on, I was like, I'm glad I picked Naomi in this match. But once I seen what Stephanie was doing, I was like, okay, this could go either way. But I think no matter what, we're not getting the status quo. We're going to get something that the people will be happy to see. But man, to see Naomi climb that ladder, get the briefcase, and that crowd go up for her, again, I say, shout out to Naomi. for doing a very unconventional character revamp for a black wrestler and it working tenfold. I respectfully say it because I don't think the other young lady is bad, but Naomi is everything that the Ember Moon character thought it was, except for, like, it could have been also a stripper at the Wild Horse Saloon, but that don't matter. What Naomi has done with her 180 here and the character change and the new music and the new gear with the same move set to a degree, but she's amped up, she's real turned up. This is great wrestling. This is great character building. This is great character layers. And if anybody was under the impression that she was the one that needed Bianca or needed Jade in order for everything to work for her this year, I'm glad you were proven wrong. I'm glad that she got that moment. And I can't wait for her cash in and what comes with it.
So I see Russ's joint saying, I'm glad that Stephanie Vaquer and Rhea Ripley didn't win. I'm glad that Rhea Ripley didn't win. She don't need it either.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was an MVP for the weekend outside of Chad Gable, it was Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah,
she's way over than I thought she was going to be. She's way over. Now, maybe Booker T and the move got something to do with it. I think that's just a small part.
Mm-hmm.
But Stephanie Vaquer is over like Rover, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting the pop at Money in the Bank like I saw at Worlds Collide. It was even a bigger pop at Intuit Dome. I was like,
It's real.
The women's division is the best division in wrestling, the WWE's in general. Because we didn't even talk about how Mariah May, or whatever her new name is going to be, because she's getting a new name, ladies and gentlemen. Be prepared to be upset when they call her like Mariah Singleton or some shit. Like Glam Bam or some shit, whatever. Be mad. Y'all gonna be mad when y'all gonna be mad on Tuesday when she have a whole new name. No, like, so be ready. Like Mariah Monroe. When they name her Mariah Monroe, be mad, internet wrestling community. Why did they name after Marilyn Monroe? Why they just didn't leave it Mariah May? Like, yeah, just be mad. But the women's division all over the WWE is the best. It's like, this is wild. And to see Stephanie Vaquer get the pop that she got, to see Julia do her thing, future United States champion, by the way. And when you see Naomi, like, Naomi did the post joint and Big E gave us some real dope words when she was crying.
Yeah.
She had to get back to like, let me get back in heel mode.
Yeah.
But 16 years, fam, and she's been through it all, and she left. She left, y'all, along with Mercedes Varnado, Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks. They both left. And to see her come back after becoming TNA champion, to see her come back after winning the TNA championship, and y'all in that wrestling community, like, oh, they ain't doing nothing with her. Boom, 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 boom. Patience, young buckos.
Yeah.
Patience. And to see her go through the character change, the caution flags. She don't need to be in the bloodline because y'all just want to put everybody connected to a Samoan in the bloodline. She ain't have to do all that. To having, to me, the best well-planned feud of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Her and Jade Cargill. That was the best feud to me leading up to WrestleMania. And having a dope WrestleMania match.
Yeah. Talk about a Donnie. She was a Funkadactyl, man.
Right.
Look where we at. Look at me
like,
now. While fucking Brodus Clay is over here just wanting to be one of the biggest self-hating blacks amongst the white conservatives that he can be. You know what I'm saying? And salute the camera wherever she is. But come on, man. Look. Hey, I don't know about y'all, but I didn't know. Like much like we didn't know what Enzo Cass and man, what's my homegirl name? Fabolo, you whatever. Hey, listen, we got to have a show about all the women that defeated the odds and became the shining stars out of their entry points as far as factions and groups and tandems and trios that they came through. Because Liv Morgan, Naomi, and Carmella, yes, they did it. There needs to be a doc on just them.
Yeah. Like the people that were not or after the 4 horsewomen. There needs to be a doc on that. But I was even though I picked Alexa Bliss, I was very excited and happy. I popped for seeing Naomi win Money in the Bank, and Tiffany Stratton. Hey, get ready to drop that belt, because I'm telling y'all right now. Now that we have this here.
Yeah.
Telling y'all, Black History Month might not be in August, but fuck it. It's going to be Black History Month.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you right now, Kemp, I'm very excited for the triple threat match for the SmackDown Women's World Championship between Sisters with Suplexes. Look, when she got it, first thought, SummerSlam, Naomi, Bianca, Jade.
Yeah.
I don't care who wins it.
Facts.
Don't. Black woman gonna walk in, gonna walk out. Champion.
Yeah. Facts.
But the feud, especially when you have seen the last couple of weeks and when you look on Twitter and everything, they are doing a great job of this feud on and off the air. R-Truth gets cut, and Naomi said, man, that's messed up. I wish it would have been you. Brother, if it ain't a triple threat match between those 3 black women at SummerSlam, Paul, you failed. And that's why I'm even more excited with Naomi winning the Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Because not only she deserves it, she put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
She's been there for years. She has been excellent at everything she's done, including being the pterodactyl or funkadactyl.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Not only she's done all that, the best feud in the WWE to me right now is Jade Cargill and Naomi, and they're sprinkling the Bianca in there. Mm-hmm. And when those 3 women wrestle for the title after she take it off of Tiffany Stratton, and Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte become a tag team, she say, I'm going to show you the ropes, bitch. When those 3 women wrestle at SummerSlam, it's going to be lit. Let's go to a match that was not on the card, but I ain't going to front. I was happy. Dominic Mysterio versus Octagon Jr. I like the fact that they put Octagon on the card, especially with what happened at Worlds Collide. I like seeing Dominic Mysterio getting a title shot. It wasn't necessarily a squash. It was a dope match.
Yeah.
I think
Mad
it
corkscrews
showed,
kind of thing.
Yes. And I also believe that it put Dominic Mysterio in a way bigger light. He's one of those other guys that's like, yo, whether you hate him or not, Pop gonna be big.
Yeah.
Pop gonna be huge. What was your thoughts on the Dominic Mysterio Octagon Jr. match?
Man, overall, again, good match. Mad corkscrews. I don't know, that kind of threw me off. But no, to your point though, Dominic Mysterio should be the bar for WWE champions right now. And I really say that as I get into it to a guarantee I'm hope for this week, but we'll do it later. But Dominic Mysterio, man, wow. I mean, I think we might have hinted at something like this happening, but man, the hype is so real, and he's just getting better. He's getting better. But definitely a great moment for him. Can't be good that the Intercontinental Champion is doing better than the World Heavyweight Champion on the same brand. But hey, here we are. Salute to Dom. Dirty Dom, that is.
I'm just going to say it like this. I'm going to say it like this when it comes to when it comes to Dominic Mysterio. I said that he was a future world champion. Hell, I said that he probably should have been had a match for it and everything. And that didn't happen yet, and that's cool. But and Donnie just said it. When I look at the future of the WWE, when I look at the future of the WWE, Dominic Mysterio is going to be a prominent part of that.
Mm-hmm.
They have their no diss to your daddy, Ray, but Dominic Mysterio is going to be everything that they wanted Eddie Guerrero to be, but they unfortunately lost him.
Yeah.
Too soon.
For sure.
I don't see a world where Dominic Mysterio in 5 years is not a multiple time world champion as long as he's healthy. In fact, the way I looked at that shit, he should have won Money in the Bank this year. They should have had the Money in the Bank in the clubhouse. Like, that's who should have been in that clubhouse. Or that's who should have got that Money in the Bank. And that shit should have been prominent in there. In fact, if he would have won it, I wouldn't have mind if him and Liv just had it together and they Bonnie and Clyde this shit.
Mm-hmm. I dig it. No, hey, listen, and that is a great storyline for 2026, for sure. I like even though I didn't my original pick for the whole Money in the Bank thing in general was Finn Balor. I do say that, man, Dominic is just getting started, and you can tell now, like, it don't matter if we couldn't see it during the pandemic, right? When it was him and his dad tagging up. Don't matter if we were maybe jumping the gun a little bit in mid 23 into 24 when we were saying, like, yo, do this to get the pop because he's the most hated person in wrestling right now. The bottom line right now is that it's 2025 and wrestling has recalibrated for Dominic Mysterio. Like, he is the heat check still, but on the other end. And that's again, that's a feat, that's a wrestling feat that, like, I'm gonna keep just going back to him, that Vince McMahon would not squander this.
Mm.
And I do want to say this because it is important to me, and this is not me bigging up some creepy old man or whatever, but dog, wrestling people need to run wrestling organizations, because what Dom is doing right now can be monumental for the next 15 years of wrestling if they do this right. And it is very important that they do this right.
Yeah, last night definitely, like, just made me more of a Dominic Mysterio fan and everything. So there's that. Let's go into, what was it? Oh, the match that I ain't gonna front. It was my surprise match of the night. I was not expecting how good this match ended up being. But Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch, it went the way that both of us thought it was gonna go. Becky Lynch was gonna win. I just added some extra dip on the chip and saying that Bailey was gonna come out, and that probably is gonna happen tomorrow. But hey, let me apologize to Lyra Valkyria, because last night she was on her square.
Yeah.
Even when she almost gave us a show, when the shit popped off and that thing, the shit popped off.
Woo!
Like, right.
Woo!
I don't know if it's just chemistry between her and Becky.
Yeah.
But that was a dope ass match. An ending that I expected, though. But I like the development.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I miss about wrestling. When people had these conversations about wrestling, here's what I miss about conversations, or at least the conversations that I would like to have. It's character development.
Yeah.
The character that you come in with is not necessarily the same person that you will be within a year.
Yeah.
And last night, I saw a difference in the Lyra Valkyria that we saw at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Even her time on the mic these last couple of weeks, it's been a lot different. I felt it. I felt it like, okay, I bet. In fact, I've not felt Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Outside of her, basically like, why y'all trying to get us out of here because we 30 plus? I ain't felt it. And in fact, I still believe that this statch was not needed, especially how it ended.
Yeah.
But I do believe that the title, I don't think the title was elevated by going on Becky Lynch.
No, it's
But
not.
I do believe that Lyra Valkyria was elevated because I think now, at least for me, I don't associate Shorty with the wings. I don't associate that with her. I associate her with, okay, she get down on that joint. And I still think my theory is correct, where Bayley is going to come back and she's going to align with Becky. I still think that's going to be the case. I think we start seeing the seeds of her being more aggressive leads to a possible heel turn. I could see Becky and Lyra, and I could see her having her own Seth Rollins type of group.
I dig it. You know, speaking to your point about development, and I want to say this as a comparison, not as in I see this for both of the women as like future career paths, but this was really reminiscent of Sting versus Ric Flair to me, where like, you know, Sting is obviously on a run, and they're kind of positioning him to be the next guy, but it takes Ric Flair to really solidify that. And this is reminiscent of that. By no means am I ever saying that Becky Lynch is Ric Flair or that Lyra will become Sting, but it is good to see that you can put the younger versus the more tenured person together that they see potential in, probably the same potential that they saw in Becky, and they can make something happen. Obviously, both ladies are from Ireland, so then there's that element as well. Becky Lynch, in her own way, passing the torch to somebody just like her. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's very important. It's very powerful. This is the First Black Champ podcast. We talk about Black people, Black wrestling, and passing the torch in that way, and showing love that way. But I don't want to be ignorant or unaware to like just other countries with their other wrestlers. Like, you know, it took a Becky Lynch to get a Lyra Valkyria, and now who knows who she's going to inspire. That's also another Irish woman or another Irish wrestler. So I don't want to understate the moment for either, even though I'm not in love with the change. I think, Bang, you're right. As far as the heat check is concerned, I don't think the title, the Intercontinental Women's Championship, is not elevated. But at the same time, now I'm kind of at a loss to see what could elevate it. I don't know. Even though there's enough talented women, there's a lot of great women wrestlers that exist. These mid-card titles don't seem to be doing what they're supposed to do. And maybe that's just the positioning of them in the shows, or it's just still too early for us to really have honest assessment with it.
I think it's early. Like, these championships are still kind of early. It's even a little weird saying women's intercontinental, and women's United States Championship. In fact, I would just say intercontinental championship.
Right. Like, we know you're a woman. We see you.
I know you're a woman. I know. We almost found out how much woman that Lyra Valkyria was. You know what I'm saying? But when she came in to where she's at, like it a lot better. Like it a lot better. This United States Championship, know this a little bit. Everybody know how much of a Zelina Vega fan I am. It's just not hitting. The fact that she got the SmackDown theme song is her her theme song is still just crazy to me.
Like, come on, man. You might as well go ahead and give Chelsea that belt right on back. Just
Yeah,
drop it off.
I mean, just give it to Julia. Just give it to Julia. But you know that it's like, what's that? That doom 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 doom. Like every time you like watch a black TV show and they like dance to that song, doom 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 doom. Like that. Every time I hear it, that's like what I be thinking. Like,
y'all might as well give her the old S.A. Rios theme. Something, you know what I'm saying? Hey,
like something, fam. But they got to do something better than what they doing.
Unless it's gonna be Cardi B, because it's coming up. SummerSlam coming up.
Well, I got something to ask you on that one because Triple H said something that didn't throw me for a loop, but I got questions. Overall, how did you feel about last night's event?
I liked it. I didn't love it because of what happened to certain people. Like I think a lot of collateral damage was done last night in last night's PLE, but that doesn't mean it wasn't good. I think if I'm going to just be fair and give it a ranking, let's just say 3.5 out of 5. Again, I think it's good. I think it's serviceable. I think a lot of positive seeds were planted. I think, hey, look, Naomi winning Money in the Bank alone, what you said about Lyra and Becky, I think that alone gives it the 3.5. Even if nothing else happened that you enjoyed or liked. Dominic with a nice performance. Yeah, it's just sometimes a PLE or a wrestling program is just meant to just solidify and highlight for the moment. And I think this did a good job of that, even though there was collateral damage for people that were there and not there. So I'll go to 3.5 out of 5. I liked it. It was cool. I liked it.
Yeah, I'll give it 3.5 out of 5 as well. Again, I think that the people that, well, at least the person that won the men's Money in the Bank didn't need it. Don't need it. So that takes off a notch for me. Naomi highlight, the tag match was a not needed match either. I didn't feel like that was needed, but to see R-Truth back, that kind of saved it a little bit. But don't think that we needed to do that too. So before we close out, did you see any of Worlds Collide?
No, I didn't see anything. It is a CMA fest out here, and white people are spending a lot of money and listening to a lot of country. And Jelly Roll had a 50-foot drone shaped like a cross, and people thought Christ was coming back Friday night. He the man out here, bro.
Yeah.
That man had a 50-foot drone in the shape of a cross as he performed at Nissan Stadium with what was my man Brandon Lake.
Okay, hey, look. Shouts out to him, dude, for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Look, I would say that that Worlds Collide was also a dope for Kingo. That's how you pronounce it. Knee injuries is kind of like slowed him down a bit, but him and Chad Gable, dope ass match between him and Chad Gable. Iguana Man, let me just say this.
Yeah, so that's wild for me off the rip.
There's some things that I don't get, but I understand, and hit y'all with the y'all got it, and won't even try to argue it down.
Yeah,
Iguana Man is one of them. Because the fact that this man wrestled part of that match with a toy iguana in his mouth, just like and it was good. It was
pause.
Pause. Like pause. The whole thing is a pause. Because an iguana in your mouth, yeah, that's even. But the fact that he was wrestling with that joint and didn't miss a beat.
Yeah.
It was like, okay. Like, I forgot who it was. I know Hood would probably text me. That was wrestling at Windy City Riot, and he had like a stuffed animal. I forgot Buddy ass name, but it didn't hit. It didn't hit. Like it didn't connect with me. Iguana Man, that didn't connect either. However, the match was good, so I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all.
Right.
But the main event of the weekend is Stephanie Vaquer. You don't have to win the title or Money in the Bank to really show that you are the MVP. And outside of the her and the Lola Vice doing the butt move, like she is going to be world champ very, very soon. Like what we talked about with the entrances, there was only 2 people that thought they had a chance of winning it after looking at the intro. It was Naomi and Steph Vaquer. Outside of that, nope. But Worlds Collide was dope. It even made me watch the original one a little bit. I've talked about how that's one of my favorite joints in that thing. Like, yeah. Definitely a dope pay-per-view. And if you're just into wrestling, I think you'll like it. But AAA in Mexico got some interesting ass characters, fam. They always do. But shouts out to my drug dealing Mexican cousins, Legado del Fantasma. They won. You know what I'm saying? That's all that matters. Go. When the AAA team won the first match, I said Legado del Fantasma gonna win, and that's what happens. Shouts out to all of them, and shouts out to that WWE had a great night of wrestling, a great day of wrestling yesterday. So
nice.
But good there's deal. No do we cares. Like there's really no. Matter of fact, I'll just ask this as one. Okay. Do we care about the King of the Ring? King of the Ring is coming back up.
Yeah.
The winner will be crowned. I think they said at Saudi Arabia. Do we care about the King of the Ring?
I always care about the King of the Ring. I think I care about the King of the Ring more than the WWE does. And that's my stance. This is one of my favorite just concepts along with pay-per-views. Even when the King of the Ring was just like, oh, this is going to be a new character and they might get a world title shot like in the next year or two. I loved it then. I cared then. I cared when Xavier Woods had it, but they didn't do anything with the Kings or the Queens. So, so shout to Nia Jax for kind of restoring the feeling. But yeah, I care more than the company.
I don't care about the championship match being at a pay-per-view. I want to get it back to people wrestling in the same night.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get back to that. Conan, you got to see or listen to you got to listen to his commentary. I was laughing. The wife was like, who the fuck is dude? He don't seem like he want to be there, and everything. But do you care? I know you don't care about European wrestling, but do you care about Lucha Libre and the WWE, this connection?
Care? No, I keep it real. I don't. But that don't mean I can't value it at a later date. But salute to Conan, though. That's my man's.
Well, my wife was like, yo, don't sound like he want to be here. It sound like Corey Graves is trying to do his job. He don't even feel like being here. It feel like they just forced him to be here. The last question that I have is, like, it seemed like the WWE fucked up yesterday with not having the Street Profits on the screen at Worlds Collide. There was some dude with a Jason mask on and the hoodie. And they were in Street Profits, but they didn't have it on the right camera. Like, are we getting to the point that the WWE don't care about their tag team division?
No, we passed that. I was surprised they updated the belt. No, hey, listen. Hey, they don't give a fuck about tag team wrestling.
Yeah.
Again, another situation where we care more than they do.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Well, look, man, thank y'all for joining us for another great episode of First Black Champ. Shouts out to the big homie Sean Knight. Shouts out to Teddy Long.
Yeah.
For that amazing drop. And we will whoop y'all ass if we need to. But before we get into me threatening people again, pass it on over to Cam from the Port.
All right, and but before we close out, for sure, you got guaranteed for this week?
No, I don't. Like,
okay.
I mean, outside of what we had already said,
for sure,
which is Jey Uso will not be the champ after the Monday after Money in the Bank. I think it's so much of a given that the WWE wouldn't pull the trigger, but it don't make sense for them not to pull the trigger. Just go ahead and knock it out.
Man, you know, what I do want to say as we close out is that this is kind of like a guaranteed hope along with a guaranteed. My guaranteed to start it off is that it's definitely heat checks in play for a lot of champs. Don't expect Tiffany Stratton or Jey Uso to be champions too much longer. That's just how I feel. And unfortunately, we're blurring the lines too much of like who's hot and who's over versus who may be selling tickets versus who are great champions. And this is my guaranteed hope. As I transition into that, I want to say, hey, look, I've mentioned this name a few times in the show, and I'm not here to absolve Vince McMahon of anything that he had done that may have hurt or harmed any women or families or careers. John Laurinaitis is a snitch, and we get it. So obviously that things are going to go bad, but we still are in need of great wrestling minds that helped us create moments to get us here. Paul Levesque is only one man. He can only do so much. What I implore is that for any person that is 20, 30, 40, 50 years in the wrestling business, please submit your resume or call Paul so you can work for the WWE. Like that's my guaranteed hope. But let's get wrestling people working in wrestling again. We knew that changes were going to come with TKO Endeavor owning the WWE, and because now basically with like ESPN and what's happening with the NBA and what's happening with the NFL, the Major League Baseball, NHL, but also just within TKO Endeavor, what's happening with UFC, what's happening with boxing, what's happening with the WWE, where now, after just decades, centuries even, if you will, of pro wrestling being the redheaded stepchild of sports, they're now trying to make it the first cousin. And unfortunately, I think we're going to lose a lot of fantasy, a lot of imagination, a lot of creativity, because they're doing things that are great for probably box office business on their analytics sheet, but it's not good for the wrestling fan. Before the Klitschko brothers became the world champs in boxing, people were saying, "Oh, well, boxing is dead," or I don't want to see Shannon Briggs. Like whatever their gripe was, and because they drew, it was a reason to quote see them or why they should be the champs, and that's not to disregard their skill. But what's happening with Jey Uso? What's happening with Cody Rhodes? What's happening with The Rock? Like, we got to stop selling the names, and we got to start selling the wrestling again. And I hope, my guaranteed hope is that we don't get too far out of the business of pro wrestling, trying to compete with the business of box office sports.
Real quick, Russ said, do you guys care about WrestleMania Vegas being back to back? No, I don't, because WrestleMania 4 and WrestleMania 5 was at the Trump Plaza in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Mm-hmm. It saw Macho Man win the world championship, and it saw him lose the world championship.
Yeah.
You know what I care about? A good WrestleMania. So I don't care if that motherfucker is in Las Cruces, New Mexico. That motherfucker better be good.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, back to back venues. It don't matter. If you want my personal opinion on that, Russ, I think it's just because the new Nissan Stadium just ain't ready yet. Because WrestleMania is coming to Nashville, just like it's coming to Lucas Oil in Indianapolis.
This WrestleMania was supposed to be in New Orleans.
Yeah, I forgot they're on there too. That was the third city. I was talking to somebody about this past weekend, because they're contemplating moving to Nashville. And I was like, I know what you see. I was like, and I've been here, it'll be 5 years in August. But a lot is about to come here. I'm like, the guy that owns the Predators is trying to get a WNBA team here. They're trying to get a Major League Baseball team here. I know they wanted to buy the Grizzlies, but it's just not going to happen that way. I was like, but also, hey, look, WrestleMania about to be here. I know you're probably not a wrestling fan, but that brings in a lot of revenue and a lot of money. So I said, and I was like, yo, WrestleMania is going to be here, Indianapolis, and there's like one other city, and I can't think of who it is right now, but it's New Orleans.
Look, I'm not going to care until we get this stadium done here in Chicago, Arlington Heights, wherever. Yeah. And there's I don't care when there's a WrestleMania in Chicago, and it has not been a WrestleMania in Chicago since when? Like WrestleMania 22?
Yeah, I think it was like 2 and then 22, right?
I think it was 22 or whatever.
Yeah.
With John Cena and Triple H. I don't care. Call me then. Call me then. Outside of that, sure. I don't give a shit where it's at. I might not be there because I'm a father of 3 and they got all my money.
Yeah, for sure. Amen. Well, listen, man. Hey, look, as always, man, we appreciate y'all and checking out this episode of our show that we call the First Black Champ Podcast, man. Hey, listen, everything that you do, whether it's on Sunday while we're live or just throughout the week, the way you contribute to being a part of the FBC community is greatly and humbly appreciated. Well, it's greatly appreciated, and we humbly accept it, and thank you for being the contributing members that you are. And it does not go unnoticed. Obviously, Bang and I can do the show by ourselves, but you make it that much greater. And there's extreme gratitude for that, always and forever. Rest in peace, Luther Vandross. And if you ever want to talk about wrestling in an unconventional way, you do so by checking out the First Black Champ Podcast. It's the pick with the VP, DOC, and we keep it bowdy and rowdy, and we are out. Fuck Johnny Wrestling.
Paul, give him that belt.